Hello, welcome back to Buckle Up. My name is Rob Wilson and this is the Audi A1 S-Line, and today I'm going to find out if it's any good. Okay, so let's start as we usually do at the front, and as you can see, the A1 has the Audi corporate face, but just squished down a little bit. So you've still got the big Audi grille with your big Audi badge, and then you've got these little streaks under the bonnet which are reminiscent of the original Quattro. Down here you've got some fake bits of vintage going on, there's no actual airflow around here, and you've got the distinctive Audi daytime running lights. They were the first guys in the business to do it, and they're still doing some great ones today with some streaks going along the top like fangs on a scary spider, except it's a cute little car. Anyway, should we go and look at the side? Right, okay, here at the side we have some 17-inch wheels. There are many different wheels you can choose from. It's an Audi, they're all optional extras. Here you have your S-Line badge, as this is an S-Line model, which means it's slightly more sporty. A few more details of that on the inside. You can choose to have a contrast black roof if you want, but you get this nice little skirt going along the bottom. There's some nice creases and actually a little bit of a haunch here, which is sort of an Audi shoulder trademark. But let's go to the back and see what's going on there. Right, at the back, and again, very Audi, big Audi badge. You've got a diffuser thing going on down here. No exhausts, even though this is the S-Line model. You've got the badge to denote this is the A1, and then a rant, because this says 35 TFSI, which used to mean it had a 3.5 litre engine. It doesn't. It's got a 1.5 litre engine in this one, but some of them are 1 litre, and they're badge strong as well. Audi have now finally acknowledged this and have agreed that they are going to start changing this going forward. Thank you for listening. Right, let's open up the boot. 335 litres of space. At the minute, the boot floor is in its highest position, but I can lift it up and drop it down, and I get a few more litres of space if you've got a slightly taller item. You can also remove the parcel shelf, nice and easily, like that. And then you can fold the seats down from the back there just by pushing them. Oh, there we go. And then you can slide your parcel shelf through there. It's quite practical actually, and it's all easy to use. You've got a couple of tie down hooks, some bits there for hanging bags off. There is a net here, probably an option, and that fits down in the cubby in the side. But yeah, nice usable space, not too much of a lip. Should we go and put those seats up and see if I fit? Probably not going to. Okay then, so the back seats, and in answer to my question, not particularly well. This seat is set up in my driver's position. I am 6'2" or 188 centimeters tall, and as you can see, my knees do not fit behind the front seat at all. They have to go either side, and I have to man spread. The only problem with that is on this side, the rather sculptural door pull is jabbing into my knee, so my knee has to fit between the back of the seat and that, which might be a little bit uncomfortable after a while. And then headroom is okay, but if I sit up all the way straight, my head does touch. That's basically the same in every car this size for me. It's not the most comfortable experience. You'll be fine if you're shorter, if you're under 5'10". It'll be a lot easier back here on a longer journey. I'd much rather be in front though. You do have rather a large transmission tunnel, although it's not really for that here, which unfortunately means that if you are sat in the middle, which you are allowed to do, and there is a rear headrest for you, you're going to have to be, I don't know, I don't know how, and you're certainly not going to get an adult in here with me in the middle and another one on the outer seat, because there's not going to be enough foot or leg room, and you'd have to be quite a bit shorter. There is Isofix on both of the outer seats as well, so that's good. And then just generally in terms of features back here, there aren't really that many. There's no seat back pockets. There's a tiny bit of storage here, but no cup holders there. There's no armrest that comes down with cup holders in it either. There's a door pocket, which is big enough for a bottle of water, but not much else, and I don't actually think I'd be able to access it with where my knee currently is. You do have some speakers in the C-pillar here as well, so if you are playing your banging tunes on your upgraded speakers, then yeah, that's good as well. But what I think I'll do now is jump up front because I need the leg room. My leg's gone to sleep. Okay, so let's start off inside the front here. A lot more room up here for me, so that's good. Right in front of me, I have the nice S-line steering wheel with an S badge on it and some perforated leather here for gripping onto the steering wheel. On my steering wheel, on the left-hand side, I've got controls for changing my TFT screen, my cockpit thing here, which makes me feel like a fighter jet. And then you've got your temperature gauge on one side and your fuel gauge going up the other. It's quite sporty looking, and you can configure it. And then on this side, I've got my volume controls, answering the telephone and all of that stuff. And you've got a star button, which is a shortcut button that you can set to be various different things that you want. Down here, interestingly, you've got proper buttons for your rear fog light, your front fog lights, which has got a little cloud on it, which is quite cute. And then your auto lights. Your cruise control functions are here on a separate stalk, so they're different to other cars where they try and incorporate it here on the steering wheel. So it's a little bit old-fashioned, but it's still there and it's still got it, so that's nice. In the middle, you've got a screen which is directed towards you, the driver, which is quite nice. That's quite a sporty touch. And then, thank the Lord, outside of that screen are some buttons and dials for controlling the temperature. How brilliantly old-fashioned is that? I like that a lot. Physical buttons again for your heated seats. Then below that, another set of buttons for your parking sensors, traction control, and your drive select mode. You've got an eco, a normal, and a dynamic, and you can custom your own one in individual mode if you want. Below that, you have a 12-volt cigarette lighter thing, but you can plug your own thing in there, and then two USB-C ports for charging stuff up. But there's also a wireless charging pad down there as well, so those are probably mainly going to be used for connecting up your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which you still have to do with a wire on this. There's also a physical volume and skip button here for the passenger to use, and then here you have the DSG gearbox selector, so it's standard, park, reverse, neutral, drive and sport. You've got a proper physical handbrake, which is nicely leather wrapped, and then you've got some cup holders here in the middle, which are big enough for stuff like this, but not big enough for bottles like this. But those bottles do fit nicely into the door pockets. You've also got some upgraded Sonos speakers here, same as the ones in the back, and glove box, decent size. It's a full-size glove box. It's not half of a glove box like the French, so that's good. You've also, worth noting, you've got Isofix on this front passenger seat, which is quite handy. And then these seats in general are very sporty, quite buckety. They've got an S badge embossed onto them. And yeah, quite nice. I've been driving around in this for a week and no complaints. Lumbar support on this one as well. Bet that's an option. Quick couple of downsides. It's a bit cheap feeling, but I don't mind it. This is better than having full piano black everywhere. There is, unfortunately, some there, but we'll gloss over that. No armrest. So, if that bothers you, doesn't have one. Let's drive it! Okay then, so out on the road in the Audi A1, and can I just start off by saying how refreshing it is to get into a new car in the year 2024 and it not be constantly beeping at me. I don't think you realise how nice that is and how rare that is these days. It's still got plenty of safety tech on it. I've got blind spot monitoring, I've got lane keep assist, but it isn't trying to yank the steering wheel out of my hand and it isn't beeping at me every 5 seconds. You know, the speed limit recognition stuff isn't fussy. It's nice. It's nice. It's a relaxing car to be in that regard. But let's talk about how it drives, because Audi, it's this car's based on the Polo. The Polo's a perfectly fine car. Audis are the sportier end of the VW range, but not really considered as driver focused as BMWs, although obviously BMW don't make a car in this space. So what's it like? Generally, very good actually. It's got quite a wheel in each corner stance, so that means it's very chuckable on country roads, and around town it's nice and nippy and darty, and you can thread it through traffic nice and easily as well. Now we've got the top spec 1.5 litre turbocharged engine at the front in this car, producing 150 PS and 250 Newton meters of torque. That means you've got a top speed of 134 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in 7.9 seconds, which is lovely. But that is the top spec engine with this DSG gearbox. You can only get this top spec engine with the automatic, and this automatic is one of the best in the business, especially on a car of this size, to have a dual clutch automatic gearbox. Really, the DSG is only second to the PDK in terms of smoothness, and yeah, it's great to have on this small size of car. Now you can get smaller engines on this car, so the other engines are badged as, well, 25 and 30 TFSIs, which, as I've already explained, is being ditched by Audi. Finally, they're listening and are going to badge their cars properly, but those will come with 95 PS or 110 PS, and those are available with a manual gearbox as well. In terms of economy, it's not too bad. I've been driving around in this car for a week, a mix of town driving. I've done a couple of motorway journeys in it, and it's averaging around 45 miles to the gallon across this week, basically, which is not the best in the world. Obviously, there are hybrids out there that can do much better than that, the Toyota Yaris, Honda Jazz, stuff like that. But for an engine that's this powerful and quite quick and sporty setup, this is pretty good economy, really. I mean, I am slightly spoiled because my car that I drive on a daily basis struggles to do 25 miles to the gallon, but that's because I'm an idiot. I think the main Achilles heel of this car is the price, because while you can get them for less than this with the top spec engine and trim level and a couple of other extra bits and bobs, this car is £30,000, and that is a lot for a super mini. But honestly, it wouldn't put me off buying one. I quite like this car. I wasn't expecting to necessarily like this car as much as I have, but it's just very nice to live with, really. Everything's as it should be. You've got a really usable screen, but the climate controls aren't buried within it, they're separate. Nice interior, very well made, looks good, drives well. Yeah, but I won't spoil my own conclusion, so let's pull over and go and do one of those. Right, that is the Audi A1 tested, and as I was alluding to while I was driving it, I quite like it. I think it looks good, I think it drives reasonably well. I like how the interior is set out and not a screen fest. Yeah, the only problem, the price, as I mentioned, but I do think it's sort of worth it actually, because I do really quite like it. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the Audi A1, but most importantly, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified every time we make an upload. If you want to support the channel, you can do so in two ways. They are to become a channel member or to buy some merch. So do one or all of those things and I will see you next time. Goodbye.